Live picture for you of what you're waking up to today. It is icy out there, and the word is it'll get worse before it gets better. Live report coming right up.
On Capitol Hill, the impeachment trial of President Clinton resumes today in Washington. Prosecutors begin opening statements this afternoon.
And now it is the jury's turn in Delaware in the Tom Capano murder trial. They begin their deliberations this morning.
And good morning and welcome back to News 10 Today. I'm Connie Cola.
I'm Steve Levy. 6 o'clock, January the 14th. Good Thursday morning to you.
It is a busy morning out there. Let's start with the weather forecast, see where we are and where we're headed.
Bill Henley could be one of the busiest guys in town today.
I'm afraid this one will not be an easy one today. It is cold outside. We've had a little rain overnight, and that would be freezing rain. So there's a lot of ice out there this morning, and more expected not only this morning, but it should intensify this afternoon, and the temperature is going to stay cold. It's going to be a very slippery day. Our forecast is calling for freezing rain. We'll have some of it this morning and more of it this afternoon. It'll be on and off during the day. And periods of snow mainly to the north of Philadelphia, a high this afternoon of 25 degrees. We are going to see some improvement tonight, but during the day, lots of ice expected. Mark Davies of the News 10 Metro Traffic Center. How does it look so far this morning?
Well, so far what we're looking at looks pretty good, and we're looking at the major roads like that. That's 95 by about Bridge Street to south of Cottman. Looks good into Center City. Most of Center City looks good. Remember, most of the streets, the major roads, have been treated with salt. The second side streets don't look so good. Steve, Connie?
Right you are, Mark. So be advised of all of that. And be advised, too, that if you're a parent of a school kid or if you're a school kid, it looks like right now the Philadelphia public and parochial schools have been closed, although we haven't gotten the official word, and we're waiting for that. But it does look like that. And if we find out more about the suburban ones, we'll bring that to you right away.
Yeah, we should also tell you as well that it looks like there are some delays and cancellations because of the storm as it's continued to move across the nation. So Philadelphia International Airport is having some problems this morning as well. Call ahead on that one. Well, let's talk about that freezing rain that has been falling for several hours now, and the ice, as we've been talking about, very patchy, but in some places completely coating the streets, and in other places it looks pretty clear. Dangerous morning ahead for the commute. And in fact, let's take you right now to the Blue Route and see exactly what you are facing here. This is right where the Blue Route meets the Turnpike Tolls in Plymouth meeting, and you can see that things look pretty good out there. The roads are wet and the temperature is cold, 20 degrees, and that's going to mean some icing, so be careful. Now to Glenside for you, and a live look at 309 right there by Beaver College, and the road's obviously pretty quiet at this point. Just a few people heading off to work this morning, but slow and go is the best way to get to work this morning in case you hit a patchy spot. Conditions no better in New Jersey. News 10 Live in Pennsauken on Route 70 right there at Airport Circle. Police all over the area really just warning drivers, if you have someplace to go today, use caution because it is a bit icy in sections.
Now, you just saw that the roads are movable right now, the main roads at any rate. That's because the local departments of transportation have been up through the night doing their work. For example, News 10 caught up with this PennDOT truck, lower end of Ridge Avenue in the East Falls section, laying down that salt, and we found out throughout the area that they have done a fine job. They're still doing it. They'll be doing it throughout the day. But as we have just said, it is the major roads first that get their attention. The secondary roads and maybe even your sidewalk are going to be problems. There have already been some accidents. Let's show you a multi-car pileup in Plymouth Township early this morning. About 4 cars involved in that. The westbound exit ramp from the Blue Route to Germantown Pike. No reports of any injuries in that crash. But let's go right nearby live right now where the Blue Route meets the Turnpike. Christine Perez, good morning.
Good morning. You know, it's kind of calm out here, so it's very deceiving because you can't see the sheet of ice, and I'm noticing a little ice drizzle coming down. Now, a lot of cars have been pulling to the shoulder here to take the ice off of their car. One of those drivers is Connie Muth. Connie, thanks for joining us here. Where are you driving from?
Hatboro, Pennsylvania.
Now, how are the roads?
The main roads are pretty clear. The side streets are real treacherous. You got to be careful when you're driving on the side streets.
Did you have any problems coming in?
I didn't have any problems coming in. Just trying to see out my windows, though. The ice and up.
Did you notice the ice building up as you continue driving?
Well, in some spots it is. It seems to be getting real cold and it's freezing up.
Kind of a scary experience. Now, you had a problem getting that ice off your car. How long did it take you? It's a workout, isn't it?
It took me a while. The scraper broke, so that's why I pulled over, and there you were. You saved my life with a scraper.
Okay, well, you're welcome. Thank you very much. Have a safe drive. Thank you. He's giving me back the scraper. Listen, have a safe trip. It's about 21 degrees out here. It's below the freezing level. So whatever we get right now, we'll ice over again. But we have noticed a lot of salt trucks out here salting the roadways, but if you are heading on out, be very careful, especially on the sidewalks and the parking lots. Our cameraman has had a few near falls over here, so it is very, very slippery out here. We're live in Plymouth meeting. Christine Perez, News 10.
The official News 10 scraper strikes again. Thank you, Christine.
To the rescue, thanks. All right, well, let's find out where this storm is headed now and if it's going to get worse.
Bill Henley.
It looks like it's headed for us, and indeed it will be getting worse. The temperatures are well below freezing, as Christine showed you, and that's where they're going to stay today. And more is on the way. More rain, which will freeze on contact. So we're looking at a pretty good ice storm today. Right now, let me show you what's happening. Our winter Doppler shows that to the north, Lehigh Valley, they're getting snow. Western Bucks, Montgomery, some snow. But another batch of the purple, which is the freezing rain, is just moving into Delaware and South Jersey and the Philadelphia area. And that's what we're going to be dealing with through the day and into late this afternoon. In fact, we're expecting some heavier precipitation during the afternoon hours, and the temperatures will still be well below freezing. So it is going to be very slippery out there. Our forecast for today is calling for freezing rain with periods of snow to the north and west of the city. 25 will be it this afternoon. I'm pleased to report, though, we're expecting warm air to move in tonight, and so conditions will be improving overnight tonight, and tomorrow we'll be just looking at more rain. But today, anything that comes down from the sky will be freezing on impact because of the cold temperatures that moved in last night. Connie, Steve?
We'll get through it together, pal.
Thank you.
We'll have to.
Well, as you just saw from Bill's winter Doppler, it's all coming from the west, so let's head to the Midwest, where weary residents in Ohio have been pelted with the snow or the ice every day since January 1st. That's about 13 days if you add them all up. Up to 7 inches of snow fell just yesterday alone, and they expect several more inches today. Schools are closed there, and the roof at a factory where Campbell's Soup makes their V8 juice collapsed. 5 workers were hurt because of it, and officials are blaming the ice and snow that piled up there because of that, for that collapse. Well, now to other news for you this morning. The impeachment trial of President Clinton resumes in the Senate today with opening statements. First at bat, the 13 House members serving as prosecutors. Staffers for those House prosecutors delivered boxes of evidence to the Senate yesterday, and that evidence will be used to portray an alleged Clinton conspiracy to keep his sexual relationship with Monica Lewinsky secret. The president broke his silence on the trial, saying the Lewinsky matter is not a subject for impeachment, and he says he plans to stay focused on his work.
My opinion is that I should be doing my job for the country, and other people should be handling the defense and dealing with this issue.
Well, one side note to all of this, the lead House prosecutor in the impeachment trial, Henry Hyde, says he's been getting death threats, but Hyde says he won't lose any sleep over the verdict in the trial.
8 minutes after 6 o'clock on your Thursday morning, your icy Thursday morning, and our live coverage of this ice storm will continue when we come right back. Live picture right now for you of the airport circle in Pennsauken, New Jersey, but we'll take you live to many places around town.
And Bill, you say more to come.
Yes, unfortunately there is. We're getting some light precipitation this morning, freezing rain. It will turn heavier this afternoon, and then warm air, fortunately, is on tap to arrive tonight. Mark Davies, how's the traffic situation?
Bill, most of the traffic's doing okay. That's 95 by about Cottman. Southbound traffic into the city looks good. So does northbound. 95, one of the many roads that have been salted and treated pretty well. But watch yourself. The parking lots, sidewalks, and side streets are a mess. Very slippery, so be careful this morning. Connie?
All right. Let's take a look back at this day in history. It was on this day in 1952 that the Today Show premiered on NBC with host Dave Garroway, Jack Schooley, and Jim Fleming. It's now 6:09. You're watching News 10 Today.
NBC10's WeatherNet and Pico Energy are helping kids like us learn about science and weather. WeatherNet is a real-time computer system that measures all sorts of weather stuff right from our school and sends it over the internet to the News 10 Earthwatch weather team. It's like having a weather window in your neighborhood. So, if it's windy down the shore or raining around the corner, you'll know, thanks to Pico Energy and NBC10's WeatherNet.
Welcome to New Jersey's public schools, where students learn the basics and more.
Welcome to New Jersey's public schools, where students learn the value of hard work and personal responsibility.
Welcome to New Jersey's public schools, where 8 in 10 of our graduates plan to continue their education after high school.
Welcome to New Jersey's public schools, where the number...
490-3322. That's 1-800-490-3322.
You want to be prepared? You watch the Weather Channel. When it comes to something as important as this, knowing what we know can make all the difference. It's all we do. Right now, it's your local forecast on the Weather Channel.
It takes a sure foot and a sense of balance to walk the ice-coated streets of Cincinnati. And sometimes that's not enough. Travel is treacherous thanks to an overnight storm across much of Ohio. The wintry mess of ice and sleet and snow is creating life-threatening conditions across parts of the Ohio Valley and the Northeast. Good morning and welcome to Weather Center, sponsored by CompuServe. I'm Cheryl Lemke. Now, our winter season of 1999 is putting up road hazards across a wide region. If you live anywhere across the Northeast, you're probably being affected by this storm. And we have team coverage and live reports to help you through this dangerous period. Bruce Edwards now is in the Forecast Center with the very latest. Good morning, Bruce.
Good morning, Cheryl, and good morning, everyone. I tell you, it's a nasty situation when we can offer wind chill values 30, 40 below zero, and that's some of the best of the weather that you might experience over the Northeast. But that is indeed the case. We've got bitterly cold temperatures, dangerously cold wind chills. You got snow, blowing snow, sleet, and freezing rain. Oh, no, yeah, there's some rain just thrown in for good measure. It's a real nasty situation in the Northeast, and it's not going to get better anytime soon. The slow-moving system will continue to cause havoc. You can see what is mainly snow extending all the way from Cape Cod and Boston, all the way back through New York State and northern Pennsylvania, although as you get into central and southern Pennsylvania, mixes in with some freezing rain and drizzle, some sleet also mixed in around New York City and Long Island. So we are talking a very nasty situation here, even in towards Philadelphia and D.C. It hasn't been too bad yet, but it could get worse before it gets better this morning. Weather Channel has live team coverage on the scene in the northeastern quadrant of the country. Mike Seidel is situated in Westchester County, Pennsylvania, just north of New York City, and Jeff Morrow is located in King of Prussia, Pennsylvania, near Philadelphia. Mike, let's start with you. You're the farthest north. You're probably the coldest, and you're definitely the iciest this morning.
You betcha, Bruce. We're down around 10 degrees here in Westchester County. We're about a 45-minute drive on a typical morning north of New York City. Now, as we pan over to the Tappan Zee Bridge here, we've noticed cars really kind of crawling along, and as you can see here, we've got an emergency vehicle getting some folks out of the right lane. Some of the trucks going over the span have pulled into the right lane using their flashers. Now, they've dropped the speed limit to 45. Late last night, it was down to 35, so it's a little bit better, but the roads are still slushy, snow-covered, and icy, and temperatures will be stuck in the teens for most of the day here north of the city. We're expecting this icy mixture of snow, sleet, and freezing rain to continue, mostly snow north of the city, but tonight as the cloud levels start to warm up, it goes over to freezing rain. It's going to be late tonight and early tomorrow morning before temperatures climb above freezing out on the island and into Midtown Manhattan. Out here in Westchester and Rockland counties, it's going to be as late as lunchtime tomorrow. So we've got a long stretch of icy weather ahead of us. The roads are in very, very poor shape this morning. Give yourself some extra time and some extra distance. There will be some more snow. We're still looking for 2 to 4 inches in the city of snow and sleet. Storm total, that is, and 4 to 8 storm totals out here. So enough to shovel and scrape this morning. And also, another word of advice, watch the sidewalks. The sidewalks are very icy. If they haven't been treated, you'll be slipping and sliding and falling down and bruising yourself. So be careful going out the door and into work this morning. Back to you, Bruce.
All right, I'm going to take over here. This is Jeff Morrow in Philadelphia at King of Prussia. And we don't have very much in the way of snow, although it is starting to snow a little bit now. We have a little bit of snow and sleet mixed together. But the precipitation that really is causing some of the road problems around Philadelphia and all of southeast PA and parts of South Jersey this morning is the freezing rain, which fell late last evening and overnight last night. We've got a glaze of maybe about 1/8 of an inch to 1/4 inch in some places. Fortunately, the road surfaces are in pretty good shape, at least the primary roads, like the Schuylkill Expressway behind me where it empties into the Pennsylvania Turnpike. The main toll booth is right behind me there, and traffic moving okay. Now, all the public schools as well as the parochial schools in Philadelphia are closed. Things going pretty good at the airport so far. Do want to give you some numbers that you can call to get some information if you do have some flights out. The Philadelphia airport, call 1-800-PHL-GATE, Philadelphia Gate. And then for public transportation, the Philadelphia Public Transportation, you can call 215-580-7800 for the latest information there to see if everything's running on time. Sleet and snow starting to come down a little bit harder right now. As a matter of fact, we will keep you updated on what's going on here around Philadelphia throughout the morning. Back to you, Bruce.
Thank you very much. Jeff Morrow live in King of Prussia, Pennsylvania with some good advice and some good phone numbers to have handy. Mike Seidel live in Westchester County. We're now joined by our Weather Channel winter weather expert, Paul Cosin, who is, you spent the night here just about like you were snowed in almost. I mean, because we've got a lot of nasty weather here. And as anticipated, the cold air's here. And now as the moisture is in, we've got the goulash, the winter goulash going on in the Northeast.
Yeah, this is sort of an amazing goulash situation in that we've got absolutely everything going on and all the ingredients for some pretty terrible weather across the northeastern United States and upper Ohio Valley are still in place. So we're in sort of day 2 of this drama. We'll be heading into day 3 tomorrow.
We're getting a briefing this morning where one of our lead forecasters, Matt Crowther, senior forecaster, and he was saying, you know, if it wasn't for this, the big blue H here, the big high pressure system, this might be sort of what we would call...
Odor and moisture all day. See? No